Thank you. Ousman, can you perhaps pick up from there and share your thoughts on also from the campaign's perspective? Sure. How do you view, why do you consider regulation essential?
Sure. Is this on? Yes. Well, the bottom line on autonomous weapon systems is it's machines replacing humans in the application of force. When on the battlefield we have soldiers that need to make decisions about when, where, or against what force is going to be applied, that is now going to be replaced by sensors and the processing of sensor data to make those decisions. So the human commander or officer is not going to be having control over those key decisions. So what we're actually doing is making redundant or dismissing or undermining the actual importance of military officers. We are saying that your experience, your expertise, your intuition, your understanding of ethics, your understanding of law doesn't matter anymore because we have people in tech who are going to be making all those decisions for you. That is deeply uncomfortable. What we're actually saying with the Stop Killer Robots campaign is a very conservative position about respecting the role of military commanders in warfare. What does meaningful human control mean in practice? We need to have systems where the operator can predict the effects of the attack, where they can understand what's going to happen, they can explain what the system is actually doing. We talked about reliability, we need traceability. These are all very conservative concepts that we actually already have in the way that we conduct warfare, and concepts that we're actually losing through a process of autonomy. So what we're saying is let's enshrine things that we already have and not be in a race to lose all of these aspects of the importance of the human role in warfare. But I also want to comment a little bit beyond the battlefield, because I know the CCW discussions have primarily been focused on the battlefield, but autonomous weapon systems are going to proliferate way beyond context of armed conflict. We're seeing autonomous weapon systems potentially being used in border control. You know, we talked about distinction between enemy combatants and civilians. How are we going to have autonomous weapon systems being able to make distinctions between a victim of human trafficking and a person who is eligible for asylum under the Refugee Convention, or a person with serious mental health problems, or a person who's trying to come across a border to unite with their family? These are all decisions that require human judgment, human engagement with human dignity. We can't displace this essential role of human decision-making through autonomy. And I also want to say we've been assuming that when we use autonomous weapon systems that we actually have an intention to comply with the law. That's not necessarily going to be true. What if we have a state that doesn't want to comply with the law? What if we have an invading state that doesn't really care about the law? What if we have, and it was mentioned yesterday in Dr. Shah's comments, civilians who go into schools and do gun violence? Imagine if we had a civilian with an autonomous weapon system who wants to do a massacre in a school and has an autonomous weapon system that is able to target people of a particular color. Activate the system, walk away, everyone in that school with a certain shade of skin color is now dead. This is the type of questions that we need to be asking, and unfortunately in the CCW discussions they haven't been addressed whatsoever, and this is why we've been saying we need to broaden the discussions massively. We've been extremely constrained in the discussions in the CCW. This is going to have serious impacts for all of humanity, social impacts. And it's no wonder why so many states have been saying we've got international law, human rights law that need to be looked into. We've got environmental issues. We've got social issues. We've got security issues. So let's be serious about the problem that we have, and let's hurry up about solving them.
Thank you, Ousman.
And I want to also say the fault is not just Russia's. When we look at the states that are actually in favor of a legally binding instrument, that have actually projected a bold and positive political vision, it's states in Latin America, it's states in Africa, and it's states in Asia. And it's been deeply disappointing for me, from the UK, to see how conservative and regressive European states have been. European states should be standing up for the rule of law, should be standing up for human rights, should be standing up for disarmament. That's what we say that we do. Why is it that Europe is basically the only region that is not really advancing on a legally binding instrument? Present company excluded, Netherlands and Austria are exceptions, and one or two others. But it's, you know, why is leadership coming from the rest of the world? And why is Europe so slow? We had the Berlin Communiqué, great injection of momentum from there. We've got the African group on disarmament saying we need a legally binding instrument. The Middle Eastern group saying we need a legally binding instrument. Asian states saying the same. Europe, we're not so sure. How does that reconcile with your position about sticking up for the rule of law? So what we need is for European states to take political leadership, stick up for what you say you're going to stick up for, and actually begin negotiations and set standards for the rest of us.
Okay, thank you. So